Well, you was doing it.
You said you press go live. I leave you
There.
to press one button.
We're having a domestic. Morning, everybody. You should be able to hear me now. We're having a little domestic because I pushed go live on OBS. I didn't push go live on YouTube Studio. So that meant I was talking to myself.
I'd already pressed go live on OBS.
I didn't push go live on OBS, Joe did. So it's not my fault. So, morning everybody, morning whoever I've missed.
They haven't heard you say good morning. You might as well say good morning to everyone.
Right, good morning. Good morning, good morning. We've been normal Oliver style, messing around, talking to myself. Yeah, I thought I was saying good morning to everybody. I hope I'm saying good morning to everybody now. Loud and clear. Good, Kevin. So, to everybody I missed earlier, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Leave me to push one button, just one button, and who knows what's going to go wrong, eh? A lot. Shouldn't leave me to push buttons. Morning, Douglas. I'm seeing names now. Oh, Helen Bailey, good morning. You're going to be impressed with my new look workshop. I vacuumed the cobwebs up. Morning, Andy. John got me now, good. Morning, Miss Tees. Morning, Richard. Alistair, good morning. Morning, Steve. Morning, Twisted. Well, we got a couple of minutes yet. I can just sit here, stand here, whatever. I might even paint me lathe, Helen. Yeah, that'll be good. Psychedelic. Did a good job on your lathe. Saw the pictures, very smart. Or I could palletise them all and send them up to you, Helen. That'd be an idea. Yeah, great idea. Morning, Stuart. Morning, George. Pink. Yeah, pink. I could be something out of Grease Lightning, couldn't they? They had pink ladies, that was it. Yeah, I could wear a wig. Morning, Baz. Morning, John. Thanks, John. I hope you're talking about me looking well, not someone else. Ah, good, Steve. Told you. It's what I use. Morning, Fred. We've got so many Freds, Johns, Steves. I will get very confused. I get confused quite easily nowadays. I do remember to get up in the mornings. Morning, Andy. Morning, Chris. Morning, Kev. How you doing, mate? We've had a bit more progress with our fibre broadband. I reckon 90 days to do a survey. So I'm counting on they've already had about 40, so 50 days to go. You never know, could have it for Christmas. Morning, Dunk. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hello, Malcolm. Hi, David. Oh, we're over time, so we're going to get going this morning. It's 10 o'clock. A few of you have turned up, got out of beds. So, what we're going to do this morning is we're going to get jiggy with it. No. We're going to use a couple of jigs. We're going to use the Paul House Sphere jig and the Simon Oak Hollowing jig. Now, all of this can be done by hand, but some people with hollowing hits their back, so a jig's quite a good idea for that. Morning, Alan. So I'm just going to show you how they work. I'm no expert. I've used them a couple of times. The Sphere jig I've used once, so I think it'll be all right. They're quite simple things. I'll explain how they set up and stuff as well. So what we've got this morning is we've got, if I can get this into camera, a bit of horse chestnut burr with a bit of sporting in it. It's currently, I know, about 9 inches in diameter, and my intention is to make a sphere at around about 7 to 8 inches. I don't want it to be too big because obviously it will just get boring if we're just doing a big one, but all the processes are the same. And I'm going to show you how you can hollow it with the jig. And then, of course, we're going to put a bit of colour on it because the old lathe ain't had any colour on it for a week, so away we go. So first things first, if we swap the cameras, what here, Joe?
Well, the one that says overhead is the one that you're currently on.
Right, so that needs to come, hold on, down, deeper and down. There we go, we've got a musical theme this morning, down, deeper and down. So, we're going to use the old centre finder here to get us somewhere near where we're going to be. At the moment, it's been rough cut to about 10 inches, and I mean rough. It was done in a rush last night. And I want to just put a couple of marks in here so I know where I'm picking up. So somewhere there, I did have an implement. This implement will do. I just want to make a mark through that hole there so I know where I'm at. About there. Let's make me mark. So there's one. Flip it over. 1, 2. And somewhere there is roughly it. It was rough cut, as I say. So in there, a lot of people say a lot of my turning's rough. I think it's a bit strong, really, especially when they say it to me face. Don't mind behind me back. So we got this, and I'm going to make this bit the top of the sphere because it looks like it's got a bit more going on. So that's going to go at the headstock end. I'm using quite a large 1.25" stem because it's a big bit of wood, and my live centre's coming up here into here. Bit of clearance, and I'm just picking up that mark there. So that's it, trapped between centres. Now, what you won't see on the camera, I've got my knockout bar through the headstock, and I'm giving this stem a bash into the wood to set it. A bit more of a tighten on the livestock end, that looks firm. I've turned my lathe speed down, I'm locking everything off. Tailstock's all locked off, check. Quills locked off, check. Full rest up to the wood, just a little pinch up, and we'll turn this by hand, just so we know that we're clear somewhere there, and we lock that off and give it a good lock off there. So safety specs on, and away we jolly well. So first we're going to rough this down, so I'm just going to use my bowl gouge to rough down. And I've got my handle slightly forward of the cutting edge against my body. I'm going to roll on the side wing and then just transfer along the rest like so. So we'll turn it on, speed down, out the way, turn the speed up slowly. There, we're up to about 400 RPM at the moment. We're not round, so now just going to cut this along. Level, roll. I'm not worried the tool's bouncing too much at the moment because we've got a real uneven surface. I'm just making the cutter remove the waste as we come along here. Something's just bounced off the lathe, so I'm going to check that. So there was a little bit of bark inclusion or something here, and that's pinged off. Now this is why you would normally wear a face shield, because that's going to ping off. There's another bit there, so I'm just going to inspect this bit of wood. Other than that, we look sound. We've got a big crack in here, so that'll be alright. And while I've stopped the lathe, I'll just move my tool rest up a bit. We'll just keep an eye on that crack. We're going to turn most of it away because this is coming down a fair way. Just whip the speed up a little bit more. The tool doesn't move around with my wrist. It's in my body. Someone wants a camera. The tool doesn't leave the side of my body, so all I do is I've got my weight on my left foot, I'm travelling left to right, and I just lean over and put my weight on my right foot. Just a smooth action along. You see we've got voids in here, we've got to get rid of them. This is our problem, this big crack here. But she'll be alright. So up we go again. Is that better with the camera? Hope so. I can't see what you're seeing at the moment. Bit more speed into it, we'll get up to about 600 now. Now cutting like this, I'm using the side wing here, so I'm making use of my long grind to remove the wood. Where we go again, a little bit more speed in. the other advantage of using the tool this way round for me is I'm shooting the shavings straight down onto the floor away from me, so they're not all over me. If I thought about it, I could have put a bin down there, I could have caught them, saved me sweeping up, or saved Joe sweeping up. I've got a little job for him later, he needs some pocket money. So the side bevel, another cut. Rip a bit of this wood away now. It's all fancy now because I'm moving too fast. I'm moving too fast for the speed the wood is travelling. That tool's a bit dull. Find another one. That's better. Let's see if we got rid of them bits there. There's still a little bit there. Don't like that crack much, but hey-ho. Can't blame anybody for picking the piece of wood other than myself. Bit more in there, I'm up to 700 stripping fine, so now over. Raising the handle a little bit to take a more aggressive cut. Let's see where we're at now. It's got a lovely pattern in here. It's going to look great with a load of colour on it. So, we look like we've got rid of our little problem areas. Apart from our cracks at the top, we're going to sort them out in a minute. And I guess at the moment we're still around about 9 inch. So just take this down a bit more. Got that. So now I'm going to square the end up. So move the tool rest around, brush the shavings off so I can get the tool rest in here. I'm just going to come, you can see there's quite a bit to come off the end here. That's why I wasn't too worried about the crack. Make sure she'll turn okay. We've probably got to take a good inch off the end, maybe a bit more. So I'm just going in there with the tool at my side, tool's almost horizontal, pick up the cut and then just lift in. lathe there. Move the tool rest in a bit more. I'm just going to drop it a tad. There. There we go. Now we could do with that end camera, couldn't we? Let's have a look. There we go. There's the end camera. His technical operator has gone walkabout. Joe said we got an audio lag.
No, someone said they have, we haven't.
Oh, evidently it's you, not me. So, now, our little cracks there. See, this bit's going to be waste wood, so that's why I wasn't too worried about the cracks. But what I think I'm going to do is super glue them and try and do it without gluing myself. Coming into the middle now. Now I'm about where I want my spigot to go. I've got a bit here that I want to take out. That's too wide to go in the back of the jaws. But what we're going to do first is go back overhead because I'm going to take this off the lathe and apply some glue into these cracks. So if I just let that quill off, get rid of the tailstock, bring that up, and we'll drop that down. Now you can see these cracks in here. This is going to be dead wood, so that's why I wasn't worried about them. But I am worried that it's going to chuck properly. So I've got some accelerator here, and I had some medium super glue somewhere safe. Hold on, I'm wandering about. Medium super glue. So I'm just going to fill these cracks. This bit of porous wood here. Not too worried about the outside, they won't be there. It's more these here. Get that into there. There. Give that a second to sink in a bit. I can see it going in. I don't know how clear it is on the camera. So we're in there, and now we'll use a bit of accelerator on there. This might need another glue up in a minute. I've stuck my finger to the wood. Joe, get a knife. Only joking. Right. There we go. Bit of accelerator. That looks good. Now, so I don't get covered, as per normal, and I know you don't want to see me covered in super glue, I'm just going to dab off the accelerator and the glue. Make sure that the paper's not sticking to the wood. If it's not sticking to the wood, then it's not going to fly off at me, and I won't be spending 2 hours peeling the super glue off the screen of the computer. So, now, let's get the tool rest out of the way. I think we're solid there, looks alright. Okay, back on. There, tailstock up to there. Lock that off. Run the quill into there. Knockout bar, give that step a tap in and make sure she's sitting in there. Not knocking the microphone off the box that's standing next to me, of course. I really must get geared up with a proper setup.
You can have the microphone further back.
Evidently I can have the microphone further back, but that wouldn't be so dangerous. like a bit of danger.
Right. End on or top?
So now we're going to come back to end on. We're going to deal with this little peg in a minute. We're going to leave that as big as possible while we're cutting down to do a spigot. Now, what chuck are we going to use? What chuck are we going to use? I think I'm going to go and get a bigger chuck. Talk amongst yourselves, I'll be back in a minute. Here we go. So we're going to use this heavyweight chuck with gripper jaws. I'll put that somewhere where it won't fall on my foot. And I want to take this down now. The gripper jaws are about 15mm deep, so I need 15mm on the shoulder. 15mm will get rid of these heavy splits. So just going in with me bowl gouge, that's the blunt one. Glasses back on. Speed up, speed down, sideways, all around. And then I'm just going to cut some of this waste wood away. Just raising the handle as I go in. Somewhere there, do it. Somewhere like that. And we'll check that and see how deep we are there. Not far off, lucky guess, isn't it, eh? So, my cracks will go. The piece of wood that I'm worried about, where I'm going to put my chuck mountings nice and solid. So I'm just going to generate another cut in there because I want a bit of waste wood. Waste shoulder for a minute. So my next job is to get that surface there flat where we're going to mount our spigot. So that is the good old skew here, and I'm just going to come in very lightly and make sure this top's nice and flat, so it doesn't foul on the bottom of the drawers. Somewhere there. I'm still leaving this pin nice and thick while we do our spigots. So, my vernier has gone a-missing. No, it hasn't. I've buried it. I am going to sort this shelf out. You can't believe this shelf. I've got my chuck. So I'm just going to measure across the jaws. And I want a spigot around about 60, 62 mils, 61 mils, something like that. So if I just now use my left hand point, scribe my line. There. give it the left hand point, that's it. And now I can see my line, and then I'm just going to go in to this line that I can see here. Now you might not be able to see that line with the surface of the wood, so let's use a pencil. Yeah, you should be able to see it now. So that was my scribed line. I did that for your benefit, not mine. Of course, my eyes are not that bad. So, I just went over to get another skew because that one's a bit blunt. The thing I didn't do this morning was sharpen all my tools before we started, so I might have to do a bit of that in a minute, but we'll see. I'm just going to come in now, handle down a bit lower, and it'll, don't want to do that. Here, that is the glue. I'm having to hold on to this. Those cracks are causing me a problem, so instead of doing that, let me just clear a bit of wood down with a bowl gouge. Nearer to the line. That's better. Now we'll go back in and tidy that up. I'm just going to check it. No, it's alright. So, raise the tool rest up a little bit. There. It's just coming. Just watching the line. When I cut this, I look on the opposite side over here and I can see the line. Just creep up on it back there. I just want to make sure that that's flat. Now I moved my skew around a bit. Just flatten this off now. Just making sure that shoulder's nice and square. Let's have a look and see where we're at. Straight edge, nice and square there. We go overhead. Oh, we've gone black. There. Yeah, nice and square there. So my jaws should sit nicely. I wanted 15mm. I'm a little under, which is fine because nothing will foul. So it's time to deal with that peg. Now I've got to be careful because this wood is a little bit precarious. That's a good word, isn't it? Precarious. I don't want that snapping off, but I do want it smaller so it will sit in the hollow in the back of the jaws. So, I'm just going to go in with the skew and take this down just a little bit, just gently. We don't want a reoccurrence of last week where I was parting down the last bit and it goes flying off. This is a bit heavier, it might do a bit of damage. Being real tentative, gentle, gentle, gentle. that should be okay. So let's get rid of that quill for a minute, get rid of the tool rest, come down onto there, and now we'll drop and chuck on top. Make sure it's not foul in any way, shape or form. And then we just want the chuck key. And I've got a feeling the chuck key I've got here, oh, it is the right size, that's handy. So a bit of pressure on the back of the chuck. Just give that a pinch up, and then we'll have a look, because we're looking that the jaws sit nice and evenly and they've gripped. So I can see down the side there, they've gripped all the way down, and it looks like it's sitting in there mighty fine. So let's move everything out the way, including me. We'll knock that drive out of there. Chuck onto the lathe. It's alright. There. Now, I just want to lock the spindle off. There. And I'm just going to knock that chuck couple of little taps, just make sure it's firm on there, and then we just check the jaws are nicely tightened. There. So far so good. I'm bringing up the quill again, although it's in a chuck. Paul, very good. Yeah, close my eyes. For you that don't know Paul, Paul's new to wood turning, or going to be new to wood turning, and he's blind and got a fantastic sense of humour, I've got to say. Makes me smile every week. Right, so we're just out of round here for some reason, best known to the wood gods. I'm just finding a new eye sharp tools here somewhere. We're just turning the lathe speed now, because we're turning it on for the first time in its new mounting. Oh, it's not a million miles out. So we just whip it up a little bit, and I'm going to do the same cut as before, side bevel roll. Just screw this up. We're still too big for the size of sphere that I'm planning on. Boy, it's well out of the end. Anybody got a pro edge? Pop down, sharpen these tools up for me. There we go. No, that was a serious question. Oh, a serious question. If you're going to take up wood turning, you are going to have to learn how to sharpen your tools. Right, hold on, let me just stop. I thought someone was having a laugh. The question is, do I know anybody that sharpens tools? If that's a serious question, you've got to learn how to sharpen your tools yourself. If it's having a dig because I was using blunt tools, I've got an array. I've got about 6 bowl gouges down here, so I know that I've got sharp tools. Unfortunately, alright, so I do, when the shop's open, help people sharpen their tools, reprofile them. But I won't be doing that for a while to come yet. I can't actually give a date to when we're going to attempt to open the shop. We won't do it until we feel that it's safe to do so. Just inspecting this. Yeah, that looks fine. So now we need to start getting down to our size. So I'm going to whip the speed up because I was saying 7 or 8 inches. It's going to be dictated by the length. Same cut as before. It's all against my body, and this is just ripping a bit of wood away here. That's not happy. I changed the cut there and pushed the tip along because there's something not happy at this end. Remove that quill, get rid of them safety glasses. Now nothing's moving in the chuck. I think it's just like the inclusions and that are just making it look bouncy. So we've got a big bark inclusion here, so as we're cutting into it we're discovering more things, bark inclusions and all sorts. Be interesting. Okay, so I just want to now square it, flatten it off. So I'm just going to come back the other way. Now I'm rubbing the back of the bevel, and I'm going to lean my hand towards the lathe, and like a push cut, I'm using the tool rest as my guide. Come back the other way, this will be our last cut. Somewhere there. That'll do us. Right. So now we need to know what diameter we've got. So I've got a set of calipers here. This might still be a bit too big. That'll drop over the side. Just about there. I think we're just under 8 inches. Get rid of my glasses so I can see what's going on. Yeah, so we're about 7 1/4 there, but you can see that's too wide for the length we've got. We need waste wood here at the chuck end. I think that's just a tad too tight, so I need to take it down probably to around the 7-inch mark that I said. So let's get a bit more off of here quickly. Put the tool down somewhere safe. There it is. Get a bit of speed into that. So we're at 1100. Last one. I'm just watching the horizon to make sure that I'm fairly parallel. There. So, we should be somewhere near a 7, which I think will give us enough for our bit of dead wood at this end, chuck end. Just about there. Six and 3/4. That'll do us. It gives us an inch at this end. So what we now need to do is just mark out where our sphere is going to be. I'll try and do this on the top. Let me find a nice bit of light wood. So this, there's the cracks there. Well, they'll be gone. So this is going to be, we've got to face that blank off a little bit. So I'm just going to come in about 1/4 inch, 6 mil from this edge. There. And then I'm going to mark that point there. So these are the ends of our sphere. And then with a measuring device, technical measuring device, I'm about 173. So half of 173 is 85. Joe's a maths teacher. About there, 86. There's going to be the middle of our sphere, if everything works out. So I just mark these off for a minute. There. 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 And I'll just double check that.
Should be 86.5, by the way.
He just said 86.5. Well, you see, I'd allowed for that. I just wanted to see if he was awake. Right, so there. That's going to be a sphere. So now what we want to do is cut this waste wood down, and we've just got a bit more turning. We're going to just taper this off a bit to make it easier on the sphere jig. And then we'll start setting that up. So first of all, let's get rid of this waste wood. I'm just going in with the back of the tool, pushing, and as I push in, I'm twisting my right hip towards the lathe. It's forming a bit of a cove, really. So I just keep coming in. We're going to be making a bigger cove in a minute. I just want to get that down. Out of harm's way. So that's out of harm's way. We've got this end that we've got to deal with, and I'm just going to balance it up. So I'll bring the tool rest round to the end. Don't much matter, this is all going to be turned away, but it's just, that's a bit out, so I'm going to just bring this down. This is back of the bevel, lift as the cut goes in. There. Let's square it off. Nice. Okay, so now there is a chart for diameter of sphere if you're using the sphere jig, and what you do is you mark in each side, mark down at the ends, and you know you've got to take that corner off. Because I'm stupid, I'm just going to do a bit of a guesstimate. Something like that, and I'm going to do the same this side. As I pick this cut up, I rub the back of the bevel, handle comes towards my body, and then I just sort of push in and down. One more. I'm just going to take that down, make this taper look something similar to that one. Something like that. So now we start removing things because we're going to go in with the first of our 2 jigs. This is the Paul Howard sphere jig. I'll explain how it sets up. Just going to get the elbow stabber out of the way because no one wants to see blood, do they? There we go. So, elbow stabber removed. Now, we're going to get Joe to remove the camera. Or can I do it? Hold on. Might be able to do it without. Let's try. Let's see what happens. Turn the speed back down. So, the sphere jig.
Sphere.
Sphere.
It's not a sphere.
The sphere jig has gone missing. The reason it's gone missing is I've buried it in shavings because I put it safely down on the floor where I've been shooting all the shavings. So if I just dismantle this a little bit, and then you'll be able to see. These are long screws, aren't they? Oh, don't put the screw there. A drop in the shaving, you'll never find it. Okay, you'll be able to see this now. So, what happens is it comes with a MDF disc. And what you have to do is turn this disc down so it sits in the gap in your bed bars in there. And that centralises the jig, stops it moving backwards and forwards. What you could do is get a bit of the plastic, I don't know what it's called, 1/4 inch thick, someone will probably know, and cut an oblong that size and drill a hole through the centre. But what we're trying to do is centre this plate so it doesn't move backwards and forwards. The next thing I'm going to do, I'll remove this because this is in the wrong location. I'm just removing this for a minute and then I'll explain it in just a second. I'm going to safely put that there, and I want to get that bolt out of the way, get rid of that bolt, put that up there, put that over there so I don't drop it. Okay, so then you've got 2 bed bar clamps that clamp underneath, and I just removed one so I can put them in on this lathe like this. I can't pick my screw up again, come through, and I just wind that in like so. Then they can dangle down beyond the bed bar and they will just drop in, and then I can rotate them underneath so they're across the bed bars and act like a clamp.
When hollowing with a force and a bit, should the speed be low or high?
When hollowing with a force and a bit, your speed should be reasonably low. 300-ish, I would say. Now, there are different... I'm talking to the walls, so you probably didn't hear that. There are different mates of force and a bit. I use, if I can find the right size Allen key, it'd be handy. I I use, I had the right one the first time. I use Colts, and the Colts you can spin and cut evenly a bit faster, but realistically, if you're using a drill bit in the wood, or forcing a bit, there's no need to go mad, you know, it just takes a little bit longer. Spin it 300 RPM, and if it's cutting well, that's good. If you want to go a little bit more, up to you, but we don't want to go too mad. So all I'm doing is tightening these, you know what, I knew that was going to happen. I've got underneath this lathe the spreaders that go across, the moulded spreaders, come over too wide for these little tabs, and I want to centralise this jig on that centre line, and of course one of them's in the way, so somewhere there. So now, can I get that there to tighten? Yeah. This is right in the wrong place, this spreader. I'm going to see if we can make it. It's not going to marry up, so let's come back there. Ah, that'll do it.
Careful, you're coming.
Careful.
You were coming level, so you were going to pop out.
Right, well, this is just on. The spreader is right in the way, but I need the cutter on that centre line. So let me just pinch that up. That's it. There. Okay, so this is fixed into place. The spreaders underneath are climping on the underside of the bar, and there's our jig bar there. Now, our sphere is gonna be about 170-ish, might be a little bit under, and along the bar you've got the different sizes of sphere. The first one is 0 to 100, then 100 to 170, 170 to 240, and you can come out to do a sphere of 380mm. We're going to go and set up on the 100 to 170, so that our sphere is going to be about 170-ish. It might be a tad under, but it doesn't much matter. The next part of the operation is you mount these. They're the spacers, because what you've got to do is mount the cutter so it's on centre height. So you get some spacers and you mount the spacers to suit your lathe, and the last bit you put in is the tool holder here on the top. So I'm going to put the bolt through the 100 to 170 and tighten this bit down on there, like so. Nice and tight. There's an Allen key you can do it up with, but this will be fine. And then the tool here, it's got this plastic collar, and what I've done is this collar is set so when I drop it into the tool holder, this little cutter here is on centre. So if I put that into there, I've got to wind this cutter back. Oh. If I do this, fly that wing nut back and this nilled nut, I can bring the cutter back as far as I like. Well, as far as that, which I like. So, same difference. And then I just carefully let that drop into there. And then that's my tool holder. Now the principle is, I just bring this cutter around here and here. Now you can see that I haven't come far enough back with the tooling, but it doesn't matter, because if I let that off, I can bring the cutter at this angle and get the cutter to knock these corners down for me. So if I just lock that at that angle for a minute, what I have made sure of, that in parallel I'm on the centre line here. So I'm bringing this round and I'm just going to start knocking these corners down to get the shape. So lathe on, turn the speed up a bit. Not too mad, I'm just going to go to about 400, 500. There. And I can just bring this cut around. Wind it in a bit and it will slowly cut back. Can you see that on the camera? So just come back. And I'm just tilting the cut around. This makes turning easy, doesn't it? There we go. So I'm just clearing a bit of debris here so I can get round here. Right, let me stop here. There's a question. Let me answer. Neil. Hi, this is Neil. Complete novice to learning. My lathe is similar to the Clark. It is around bed bar. My tailstock runs along, not flat like yours. It's a different version of the Jig. If it's the single round bar, the old Clark lathe, like the new tool lathe, then I don't think there is. If it's the twin round bed bar like the record, yes, there's a plate that you can do to adapt. But if not, I can talk to Paul, but I don't think he does anything for a single round bed bar. Is the answer. So now I'm going to come back, wind the cutter in just a tad. Let's get rid of that shave in there. I've wound the cutter in a tad, so I take a little bit more, creating a little bit more clearance so I can take down this bit here. So if you measure it out, you could eliminate a bit of this process quite quickly. But I'm just bringing this round now, wind it in a little bit more. Now I'm going to have a little problem here in a bit with this end, but I'm not worried about that because we're not going to deal with the end just yet. We're going to deal with the end later. Let's just get rid of a bit of that. There. Because we're going to hollow this sphere, so we're going to leave one end unfinished. There. Now, I'm going to start in the same way on this end. So I wind the cutter back in towards me.
Can the jig be mounted on a full rest?
Sorry?
Can the jig be mounted on a full rest?
No, it's not designed to be mounted on a tool rest. Joe's reading out the question. Part of its principle is this pivot point. I can't see why, if you were a bit of an engineer, you couldn't make a tool post with a drill hole in it and tap it in and then use your tool rest. But I think you would be too high because your cutter's got to be on the centre line. And if I was to mount this into my tool rest, I'd be significantly higher than centre. So I don't know that would work.
Thinking about it.
But there's a lot of videos done where people make their own jigs in the same principle. I know Ian, chairman at our club, he's made his own some while ago. He made one, then did a Mark II version. So now I could just get my bowl gouge and knock this down. But I just thought I'd show you that you could do it with the jig by moving it around. There. That was a bit heavier cut. We'll sort that out in a minute. So I'm just going to come round, wind this in. And now I'm just rotating the jig around. So when I get caught up with this waste, I'm just going in half a turn at a time. Quite an easy process, really. So now I start going round the full spear with the cutter at a right angle to the blank.
Is there a difference between how you're doing it and how full does it, where you use blocks at no
Paul uses blocks at both
bend?
ends. What he does is, because he's making purely a spear, what we're going to do is take this a step further and hollow it. So I'm more comfortable having it out of a solid piece of wood. But there's no reason why. I mean, Paul's the expert at this. And if you look at his work, you can see why. He's the man that's designed it. I'm just a mere wood turner that's trying to use it. And I was mucking around with it the other evening. Now I want to clear this rough wood away. And I found that I could turn the spear doing it like this. Just takes a little bit longer, so realistically you would use the calculation and turn it down to where you need it to be. But with a bit of fiddling around, you can do it all with a jig. Now what's going to happen in a minute, my tool rest is going to get right in the way, so let me just remove that. So now I'm going to tackle this end. If I wind the cutter back in, now that shoulder's still going to catch. Making sort of larger cuts there to remove this wood. I just want to get rid of this bit here, it's in my way. I want to get right at the end now. Get in there. loads of fun. Wind that in just a tad. Let's get rid of that end again. I'm doing this quite gingerly, because the wood's not that most stable piece of wood, but I think it's going to look fantastic coloured up.
Is the cutter suitable for both wood and acrylic?
Yeah, the wood is suitable for wood. The cutter is suitable for wood and acrylic. It's a 6mm carbide cutter, same as used in the Simon Oak hollowing tools. You don't sharpen them, they are designed to be replaced, but because you're only cutting on a very small part, just want to get rid of that, that's that gone, very small part of the cutter, you can just rotate it round. They last for ages. So now I'm going to come back square, wind in just to pick that cut up, and I'm going to use this little nut now just to lock that off, and just gently and slowly feed it around our sphere. I'm just watching to make sure that I'm not cutting too much in one go. Just supporting the jig with my hand. I'm not trying to lift it up, drop it down. There. I'm going to come back round. The tendency is to lift the jig, which makes the cut a bit deeper. Right, and that should be our sphere to point there. This is going to go in a bit later on, but I want to leave that thick at the moment because I want to drill into here and show you how you can hollow it.
What's the largest size you can do?
The largest size is 380 mils, so that's what, 14 inch, 15 inch, something like that, I think. 380, 300 foot, 11 inches, yeah, about 14 inch. So we've got our sphere into there. Now, if you just wanted to do a sphere, you would carry round, leave it between centres, and you could use the pull out stuck on method, and then just make a sphere, which we could do. But me, being me, I just always want to take it a step further. I might just clean up a little bit of this actually here. I don't want to go too far. I want a good holding. Now I've just had another idea. I can't get my tool in here. Let me just. But what I'm doing now is using the sphere jig to create a bit of a cove. As long as this is staying fairly thick, this is a design opportunity. I've just come up with a little idea and I think it will work. So what I'm doing is I'm reverse rotating the sphere jig and creating a bit of a cove. One more. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute, because I'm stupid. I've just come up with a plan. So I'll get that onto the square. We had it locked off. I'll bring this round. I'll get my jig into there, yeah. go like this, not a lot. So, what I've done is I've done a kick out, and what I'm going to do is make this a base so it stands. I don't know if that's the right idea, but I think it's going to look alright. So what I'm going to do now is quickly and efficiently look for the lost Allen key and remove the sphere jig. How are we doing so far? We're all still awake? Okay, so let me just get this off to here. And slide them around, and I can just pull this up and out of the way. Now it comes with a little cutter cover, and the best idea to preserve that cutter is just to slip that back on over the top of the cutter so she's nice and safe. Now I'm going to put that down safely on the floor. No, I'm not. I'm going to put that on the side there. Put the Allen key where I can't find it in a minute. Now I want to drill a hole down through here.
Do you need to have to put the lathe on a slow speed to use the jig?
No, you could spin it faster than that. A little carbide cut will work well. I just run it at 400 or something, I think it was. Hold on. Yeah, about 500 actually. But there's no reason you couldn't spin that faster. Just make sure you're taking fine cuts and taper it off a bit more to start. So here we've got a little Forstner bit. It's a bigger Forstner bit, and I just want to see the bottom of this sphere is somewhere around that line, in between these two lines. So I'm going to set my marker up there. I'm going to lock that off, and I'm just going to wind this in, make sure she's locked into the quill somewhere around here. Now what I do is I give it a bit of pressure to make sure the Forstner is, the drill drive is back right the way in. I'm just going to bring that up, and now I'm going to turn it on. Now this is a drill, this is a Colt, and I'm spinning this around about 500 RPM. I'm just going to wind this in just gently. Move it around a little bit. Remember to reverse wind the drill bit out. You don't want all the shavings kicking up behind it, otherwise it will be trapped in there. Now just wind down. Now I can speed this up a bit with a Colt, so I'm now up to 800. And I use the technique winding the quill in, drop the lever and just slide the whole tailstock back. Just gentle actions. I go in about 20 mil at a time because I have had the drill bit trapped inside of the form so many times. I know what it's like if you let too much shavings build up, so don't let them build up too much. It's far easier just to be able to slide it back like this. ripped a little bit there. We're a long way over the edge, and I think this bit of wood's quite wet in the middle. It's been outside. Oh, now I've got a problem. Let me just slide that into there a bit. I need to retract my quill because it's hitting the camera. Like so. Now I can pull that back. Now what I want to do is double check my depth into here. Burn the arm. There. And normally I can just pull everything out the way. So at the moment, let's just do it like this. Onto this first back line that I've got. So I'm down to about here. And I was in between them two black lines. So I'm just going to slide that in there. Always double check if you're uncertain. I'm just going to bring that down to about there. Wind that back. Slide it back. Job's a good one. Now we've got a hole in the top there. Now I'm going to get rid of this Jacob's chuck. There, out of the way. Get that up there on the shelf, which you can't see. And now we can hollow. So, what we're going to use is the Simon Oak laser guided hollowing system. So I've got to get rid of a tool rest, and I've got to get rid of my tailstock. So the end camera has got to disappear for a second. I'll hold that up, Joe, please. That's it. That can go back down. Get that out of the way. Okay. Joe's repositioning the camera so you'll get an end-on shot in just a minute. So, are we okay so far? Have we got any questions that you want to ask that I may or may not be able to answer? Ed, are you not demoing the camera system? No, I wasn't going to do the camera system. I've got a camera system here. What I was going to do this year is demonstrate the laser, because I think the laser works really well, and I think doing both might take a bit longer. But what I'll do is I'll do a future demo with the camera if you want to see it. Right, so we've got a hole made in here, so now we're going to get the basis of the jig. This is the arm, and it's got a catcher plate. Let me just come into that little camera there. Joe's pushing buttons for me. So it's got a catcher plate that goes under, that's right, under the lathe bed there. So it sandwiches on the lathe bed. So I'm just going to undo that nut. Set me, it's called the kicker plate off my lathe bed. Bring the nut up and through. Oh, I just got a hand to pinch it. This is one of them projects when you're setting it up. If you had 3 hands, it would be handy. So now I've got to somehow get this camera back so I can bring this back. I want a bit of room to manipulate the articulated arm in there, and then just a spanner just to pinch that nut up so it doesn't flap about. Part 1. Part 2, the arm. So I've got the arm set up here. This now sets. Now, same as the Paul Howard cutter, this needs to cut on the centre line. So there's a collar. Joe's moving cameras around. There's a collar on the upright post that I've set, and once you've locked it off, you never have to move it unless you change lathes. So when I then put this bar on, move it round. I'm having to move it around off camera. You don't normally have to mess around like this too much, but I've got tripods all over the place. So that slides onto there, and I'm ready there. Now that camera's got to move over there. We need to get a proper rig for this camera system because we're limited on space here, but when I start part 2 of the workshop move around, the idea is I'll have plenty of space around the lathe for videoing, but I had to clear the rubbish at the other end of the workshop first so I could get to this end of the workshop and all that sort of stuff. Now you can put in, I'm looking for a tool rest, found it. You can put in the 16mm bar tool or a 19mm heavy duty bar tool. What I'm going to do is use a 16mm, am I? I'm going to start with a 16mm, we'll see how we go on. So to use a 16mm, I've had to put a collet into the end here. And then I can put my 16mm tool in there. And what I want to do is just tilt the cutter over anti-clockwise. About, Simon reckons 5 degrees. I don't know what 5 degrees is. About 8 o'clock-ish. That'll do us. And then one of the elusive Allen keys fits these grub screws on the articulated arm, and I just tighten that down so the bar's locked into place. Actually, I'll probably just bring that bar back in the handle just a little bit more, somewhere around there. 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. I'll just lock that off, and that's our hollowing tool locked into place. Now what I'm not going to do, you can make this whatever wall thickness you want, but this is a quick demo on how the tool works, so we're not going to go too thin because you'll all fall asleep. So if I aim the tool to be the wall thickness to be say 20mm, or I do 10mm, something like that. 10mm. So what I've done on the card here, I've measured, we see that on the camera, those pencil lines there, they're a bit over 10mm apart. I really must bring my glasses. They're about 12mm apart, but that'll do. So what I need to do is line my tip up. If I can bring this back. I've done this on the wrong part of the card, so let's just draw a line there so you can see. That's on my tip, and then I want to bring this at about 10mm, so second line there, like so. And you see them lines, they're not all that clear. Joe's going to try and drop the camera down and move it in, shake it all about, do the okey-cokey, and that's what we're all about. So I've got one line by the tip and a second line. Now I've got to plug the laser in. I thought shooting the shavings into the corner would be easy. I've buried everything that I store on the floor. So that's that. And the laser just mounts on this arm. It's can you get a camera shot of this arm?
Yeah, I've already had it showing.
No, the end.
No, I've had the whole thing showing.
Alright, so let's Joe just move the camera around for a sec. We've got a clamp system that holds the laser in place. Sorry, we're not doing too well with this. Count to 10, everybody. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Right. So then what I do is with this clamp, can't see the clamp yet, can you?
Well, they had the clamp, now they can't see the laser. It's up to you. Which one?
It's alright, back there, that'll do. So with this clamp system, I can just let this off, move the arm backwards and forwards, and twist it around. So if I get that on the cutter squarely, the bit that I'm going to cut with, right there, just pinch that up. There, I get the cutter on the line there, and now I can just articulate the arm round a little bit. Ooh. So I can bring it down even, so that the cutter is on one line, the laser is on the other line. If I stop shaking and moving it about, there. So I've got my cutter on the right hand line and my laser light on the left hand line. That'll do for the demonstration. I lock it all off. The laser's coming straight down, and then when we go inside our holoform in just a moment, bring the tool rest up. Tool rest is a bit low, I want everything straight. Joe will reset the camera onto the work piece. Let me just bring that back there. That's it. Right. So.
Right, we want.
Yeah, can you bring the camera down a little bit so we can see that laser? Hit me with the laser beam, Right, Joe's just messing with the camera. He's doing his best job here. We've got cables caught up, we've got all sorts going on. So you should be able to see a laser. You can just see that little laser beam just there by my finger. Yeah, he's just there. Laser beam. And the idea is now that we turn the lathe on and we start hollowing, cutting backwards. That tripod there is in the way. Sorry Joe, thank you. What happened, I've got cameras on tripod to try and give me the best viewing angle. What we're doing is, as the laser drops off the wood, that's our wall thickness. I'm just going to move this catcher plate round a little bit because that's just fouling my articulated arm. Let's turn that off. So if I just let that off, and then I should be able to twist the catcher plate around a bit. That's it, to give me a bit more of an approach angle. I'm doing it in fairly cramped conditions, so normally you'd have all the room around your lathe that you need there. So I should be able to get in there now. Let's have a go. Just going to move the arm around the other side. Let me just stop that. Red stop, isn't it? Not green. I always push green. Don't know why. I'm not colour blind. So let me just let that plate off a bit. Now I want to bring this back so that I can get the arm over the other side will get me to the other side. Somewhere there. Let's see if that'll work for us. It may or may not. I've now fouled on the welded bar on the underside of the table. I've got a double lock nut on the underside which won't go under, so I'll just make the best of this here. That's it, that's locked off. Now let's try that. See if we can get in far enough over here to show you the idea. Now while I've got it stopped, I've got to get the shavings out of here. There. The easiest way to do that is don't take the piece out of the chuck. Take the chuck from the lathe with the piece in it. I put my chuck key down somewhere safe. It's all starting to go a bit peaked on. There we go.
Only just started.
Cool. I don't think my grip spanner holds this so well. Let me go. There. That's better. There. You got give us another chuck key. They're over there. This one's not quite the right size. Please, Joe. I don't think my C spanner will fit this. Now my C spanner's the wrong size for this chuck. That's what I normally use on my other chucks. Let's see if one of them. That looks a bit better. That's it. That's it. Right. We got there. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Got that over there. I'm putting things down in all the wrong places, so I won't be able to find them in a minute. So now I can take it off and give it a good shake out and remove the shavings that are in there so they don't foul the cutter. Put the chuck back on the lathe. I'll just give that a flick up and tight, and then we'll turn it back on and start again. I'm just now you should be able to see the laser. And all we're trying to do is make this around. I'm just going to move this articulated arm back round the other way now. We've removed so much stuff here so I can get in. It's ridiculous. Right, let's see if that'll work for us. It just goes backwards and forwards, following the laser around the form. What's that? Now we're full of shavings again. Full up of shavings. Now the other way of getting rid of the shavings is a vacuum cleaner, and I have got a super vacuum cleaner over here. Just get that plug in over there, Joe, please. The socket that hasn't got a light on over there. The one that's a light on is all the video stuff. Right, this is a jet propelled vacuum cleaner. You'll hear it right now. Turn that off and then we'll get in. I just want to show you the laser disappearing over the side realistically. See exactly where your cutter is. And then I can just slide this in. We're full of shavings again. Let's get that out of the way. Another bit of jet propelled vacuum. Right, so you've got the idea. So now if we just bring this articulated arm round to suit us. Now I can't get it where I want it. Let's try there. I just want to get into this last bit for you. No, it's not going to work. I've got an idea. What I might do is put the bigger tool. I think I've got it. So if you want to shave them out, you're just going to take a finer cut, and as the laser falls off the workpiece, there, we're into the wall thickness that we were aiming for. Just there. You see that little kickback there? That's the shavings again. So the last draw out, I'm not going to hollow it all. We'll be here for half an hour, and I just want to show you a quick. Coloured, can you get us the chestnut spirit stains at the top left hand side at the back? So if I do this with it at the thing spinning, you see the laser there, and as we draw back, as we're at the right wall thickness, the laser disappears off the wood. That means we're at our wall thickness, and any time you can see the wood up middle shelf right at the back, coloured stains, little white bottles.
Yeah, which ones do you want?
All the colours. So that's how it works there. Laser falls off, you're at wall thickness, and then you can go right around your form like so. Is that sort of crystal? Yeah? And that gives us our wall thickness, and we could hollow this out, which I will do later because I'm going to leave the chucking point on. But what I'm going to do is sand this up and show you a quick burr being coloured, because this will look quite nice, but it just needs a quick sand. Joe's found a load of spirit stains. I'm going to use the chestnut spirit stains because they dry a bit quicker. Put that there. Just unplug this laser here. Got bits going all over the place. Get me laser arm back here, or hollowing arm back here. Get rid of that. Put that somewhere safe. Over there. Sort that out in a minute. Get rid of this plate. Chuck these everywhere. Right, so is everybody alright with the idea of the laser? I didn't realise the restriction on space was going to cause a few extra problems. So I'll redo a holoform using the jig once I've moved the workshop around and I'm not restricted on my space. So I just dismantled the kicker plate for the jig system. You've got the idea. So now, whip the extractor on, Joe. We're just going to sand this off quickly. Joe went looking for the extractor. I've moved it. It's not that big. So, blast gates. That one up there needs shutting and this one up here needs opening. Just bringing the extractor in. Yeah, and then that one up there. Right, we've got a bit of dust extraction, so we're just going to give this a quick sand off. Inertia reel sander. Straight in with a bit of 80. Turn the speed up a bit. I'm sanding it around about 1200. Keep the inertia reel sander moving so you don't ruin the shape of your gear. And just get into there, into the foot. Cut the little tooling lines there. Get rid of them. Right, they're gone. So the 80 removes the lines, and now the rest of it is literally just removing the sanding lines. So 120, $180, $240, 320. The extractor don't seem to be pulling very well. I'm going to have to change that. It's a powerful extractor, but we're just going to have to revamp the tube at this end. That'll do. Right, so we've sanded to 400. I just need my tack cloth. Where's the tack cloth? Glass jar. Tack cloth, isn't it? Yeah, over there on the shelf. Yeah, behind, up on the shelf, coffee jar. Lost the tack cloth for a minute. I just want to remove the dust before I start putting the stain on. So, I'm going to give this a wipe off with the tack cloth. Get rid of our dust. Like so. Now, that's that job done. I now put a bit of stain. Marigold somewhere. Yeah, yeah, what it's drawing. So I've just gone and got a pair of marigolds. Because spirit stain, acrylic paint on your hands not too bad. It washes off easy, but spirit stain stains, sinks into your skin. So it takes ages to get it off. So I'm just going to do that. Oh. That onto there. Now we're going to start with a bit of black. Just give it a quick shake. Shake it. The black. Now a lot of people won't start with black, but it can have a real effect. So now we're going to coat this in a black. I'm not going to worry about the foot because I will do something different with that later on, but that will be off camera. This will be one of them pieces that I promise to get finished and post later. The idea was a couple of jigs, bit of colouring, show you where you're at. So this is going to be just a quick idea using a different colour. So when we get our black on here, like so. Put the lid on, otherwise I'll knock it on the floor and it will go everywhere. Nobody wants to see that. I don't mind if you do it at home, it means you buy more dye, but it matters to me. So now I've gone back with 240. I'm not letting the stain dry. Problem with not letting the stain dry is it clogs up the sanding paper. I should have nicked Karen's hair dryer again. That would have been a better idea. That's what I want it to be. You see now the stain's coming off. See what that looks like. Yeah, you can see the stains coming off quite nicely, leaving grey areas to contrast in black. We'll just give that another little go. Just in that base. Blast gates, they came from an online ducting supplier. If you put in dust extraction ducts or steel spira duct, they do all the bends, blast gates, everything. But I made a mistake, that's why we're changing things in here. If you're going to put in blast gates, the blast gate needs to go on the last bit of down pipe before your flexible pipe. What I thought when I first did it, I thought I'd be clever and put them in the straight runs so I could turn off sections of pipe. And it doesn't work. What happens is the dust gets in the blast gate and then you're forever undoing them, trying to get them to slide over, and it just doesn't work. They should be on the bottom drop. Someone I was teaching is an expert in dust extraction. They own a big dust extraction company for the wood industry. I didn't know this, we were just talking, and she explained to me that, and it was a woman, what she explained is all your pipes should run back to a central pipe, but they shouldn't be at right angled T's. They should be flowing curves at 90s. So we've got a bit of work redoing, jigging the duct system in here. Right, so I've sanded the black off as much as I want. Now what I'm going to use is a blue. So I get the blue in here, and the black seems to give it a bit of depth. So, and normally, as per normal, when you're doing this sort of stuff, just slowly build it up. Don't make it a rush. And I'm going all over with the blue, over the black, over everywhere. This is a royal blue that I'm using, chestnut spirit stain royal blue. I just get in here with the royal blue. There. Get that in. Now you should be able to see on the camera dark black areas in the blue and the royal blue. So we give that a couple of seconds to dry off. What I might try and do actually is spin it and just burnish it with a paper towel to take some of the dampness out of it. There, there do. And now we'll go back in with a bit of 240. Yeah, I don't know. Right, so I'm back in with a bit of 240, re-sand. One advantage with sanding with the paint or the stain still wet, don't get as much dust. I don't want to take too much off, but I want to take a chunk off. Now you can see the blues and the blacks mixing in. So what I'm going to do now is use the lighter blue, which Joe's left in the cabinet. No, there's a blue in there, another blue. Oh no, he hasn't. I've got it. I've hidden it behind me. He goes, no, I haven't. I brought out all the colours. And I was just about to say, oh no, you haven't. Oh yes, he has. And he had, and I'd put it behind me. So now I've got the lighter blue, and I'm just going to come in to the areas that are lightest. Hello. Something's just fallen over. Don't panic. Yeah. Now we're just dabbing this in a roundabout way.
Is there a crack running from top to bottom on that?
No, it's not a crack. It's a bit of sporting line or barky line. This is all solid. I wouldn't be spinning at any speed if there was a big crack in it, trust me, because the only thing that happens there, it goes bang and you get pieces of wood flying across your workshop. This is looks like a growth line in the wood. So we touch that in, put a lid back on there. Give this a quick burnish up, and for the shavings to probably do it. It's just all I'm doing is using this. I wouldn't normally do this, I'd let it dry. But there. And now instead of 240 I'm going to 320. There, and you can start seeing the different tones of blue. It looks like an ocean. And now what I could do is go back in with a tad of black. Give a bit of depth to it. So now I'll just dab in some black in areas. Not too much, just a bit in certain areas like that. And now a quick sand again. There you see we've darkened it, and then if we get our royal blue back, and we'll just blend in over the black on the royal blue. And you see the blue gets a depth to it. I don't know how clear it comes up on the camera, but it starts getting a depth to it. And we just keep building and building and building. It's royal blue. I've got spirit stains all next to my computer where they shouldn't be, but hey ho. Bit burnish off there. Another bit of 320. Yeah, now I think that needs a bit of the lighter blue. Now I don't know if you can see this. My high quality latex glove has just parted company with the back of my hand. They're ones I've had laying around for a few years. I don't know where they came from. Something I acquired over time, and they've obviously, I don't know, gone past the sell-by date, I suppose. I ain't got a clue. I normally use the nitrile gloves, because some people are allergic to latex. Obviously latex is allergic to me in this instance. Right, so I'm just dabbing that blue in there now. There. Now, we would keep going with this. Obviously we're not going to keep going with it. I'm just going to go with a 400, and I'd go right down to 600. I'm just going to use a clean bit of towel to dry this off a bit. There, and then in with me 400, just a light sand. Okay, So then we would just keep building with that until you're happy. If you're happy and you know it, let me know, clap your hands or something, can you? Happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh yeah, that was it. Used to do that at school. Yeah, I still remember the school days as if they were only yesterday. Yesterday, my school days. Right, so if I take this off of here, you've all bared with us a long while this morning. I've just turned a black extractor hood and coloured it. Oh no, this is what we've done. So, this is our sphere. Let me bring that into the camera more. I always go the wrong way.
Stand back so you're under the light.
Stand back. Woohoo! There. So now this is the important bit, this burry bit just here. Where we build up the colours, it may not be too clear, but once it's finished there'll be pictures up. This will be really deep. Under the light? I'm under the light.
Yeah, raise it up then.
Raise it up. I won! Champion! This is heavy, this Chuck. Can you... Yeah, if I tilt that around. There's a tonal blue. The black makes it work. And you just keep going till you're happy. And then I would put a coat of lacquer over the top of this. So, that's our little hollow sphere. I might change my mind about this base and make it a complete sphere, actually, looking at it. And that'll be cut chuck. So what I might do is keep this project, finish it off with you. We'll revise it in a couple of weeks' time. So, that's the end of today's little demo. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks for watching. It means a lot. It means I'm not talking to myself. I've got someone to talk to. If any of you have got any questions at all, please feel free to shout them out, because I'm here. I think Joe's about to clear off because he's got a video meeting this morning with some mates of his. So, thanks Joe. Morning Mike. Whoa, I didn't dismantle anything off the lathe today. Thanks Steve. So, you can fire away, chat amongst yourself, we'll talk about the weather, whatever you would like, really. I'm just getting rid of glasses and everything now. Yeah, learned a little bit more about the sphere jig. The sphere jig's quite useful when we get cut up. Thanks, Licia. Thanks, James. Glad you received it. Very instructional. Thank you, Douglas. I wish my teachers thought I was instructional. Disrupted, they used to call me. Disrupted. Morning, James, and thanks for watching, James. Thanks, Nick. Glad you enjoyed it. Alicia said, thanks, Joe. He's already running across the drive. Mark Wall. Shame. Mate, I only dismantle things when you do it, just to keep you company. Make you feel good about yourself. I know you don't feel good about yourself most of the time. Thanks to Graham. Thanks Andy. Thanks Derek. Thanks George. Thanks Neil. Thank you Robin. Mike Walt, bless me. I didn't realise you was a father, Mike. Or priest. High priest, Mike Walt. Thanks, Karen. Thanks for popping by. Alicia, I'm not still disruptive. I am well behaved. Thanks, Martin. Thanks for popping by. Glad you found it useful. Needs to start saving. Thanks, Baz. Some more bits for your shopping list, John. Good to see you. Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Mick. Thanks, Mark. Chris, glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Douglas, you have a great weekend. Guess what? It's Saturday, it's sunny, and I am grass cutting. Yeah, happy days after a cup of tea. Now I might have beer after that. Thanks, David. Glad you found it interesting. Cheers, Charles. What's next week? Well, next week, someone was talking to me about vacuum chucking, so we might make some little plates or something vacuum chucking. Ah, stable stream. That was lucky done. Thanks very much, mate. Kevin Edwards, thank you. Cheers, Bob. Cheers, Michael. An artistic masterclass. I think you go too far, mate. Cheers, Mike. Take care. I look forward to seeing you later. Mike, is you on tonight? Is it 7:30 or let them know? Give them a shout. Mike Walk has started doing live demos. Quite entertaining. I don't know what he's up to. He might put it up in the comments in a minute for you.
He probably doesn't know what
Derek, off to your shed. Barbecue day for me. Oh. Yeah, burn his shavings. I could bag them up, couldn't I? Well done, Ken. Good idea. Stop feeding fertiliser to the grass. Yeah. I feel like concrete in it, but it'll be a lot of concrete. Cheers, Kevin. Thanks, Charles. Mike, well, yes, mate. What time? When are you on? When's your demo? Let people know. Cheers, Shay. Glad you found it interesting. Thanks for watching. Right, people. Is Mike? Are you gonna quickly type in when you're on, Mike, and I'll shout out. James Cassidy, goodbye. Off to my shed with new tool you sent me. Good, James. Go and enjoy it. Right, Mike Walt is doing a demo tonight at 7:30, so there's a live from Mike at 7:30. I know Mike well, he's very entertaining. So, if there's nothing on the telly and you're fed up with watching paint dry and you're really drunk, why not watch Mike? No, Mike's good, lad. I don't know what he's going to be up to, but I certainly will look in at some point. So, thanks all. I think we're done for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.